People, make sure that you go ahead and check out the Beeline Entertainment Stuff and Things shop. We got all merchandise that you're looking for. Everything to promote the show. That's right, from hats to glasses to cups to sweatshirts to t-shirts, you name it. Boys, girls, babies, whoever wants to show off that they love watching the Beeline Entertainment LLC. We can't wait to see you in your brand new gear. Come on and check it out today. Let's go! That's right, guys. Go ahead and check it out today. Please go ahead and hit up the Beeline Entertainment LLC.com, baby, because we got a lot of stuff going on over there. Welcome back, guys. Check it out. We back in the building. Hopefully you guys can hear me well. I got everything hooked back up and getting ready for the show. Are you ready for the show? Check it out, man. We back full throttle. I told you guys, I had a baby. The baby's doing good. He's finally here. Kind of pulled me back away from the Beeline for a little while, trying to get everything situated for that. But he's here now, and I'm back now. So we going full throttle, bro. We going all the way to the end of the year. We have a new show every single week out of all of our shows. We did the web show on Tuesday. We did wrestling yesterday, and now we got the entertainment show, baby. And being that we're coming back, we are going to be getting caught up this week with a lot of the watch list that we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about a lot of movies that we have watched. Hope you guys enjoy the new background. The new background's bright and shiny for you guys. But hey, what up, JC? Hey, y'all, good to see my bros, Brian and Kyle, on tonight. I want to thank y'all again for coming on the Flip the Script series, which is still going on. Okay, awesome, bro. Can't wait to do panels with y'all soon on my first host season. Okay, awesome, bro. Appreciate it, man. JC be popping in with promoting the shit out of himself. But it's all love, it's all good. But listen, we got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about tonight, including the top five favorite summertime feels movies, baby. The movies that make it feel like summertime is in the building. We're gonna be talking about that. I got Kyle in the building with me. You know what it is. This is the Beeline Entertainment Show, where we don't do that no more. But we talk a lot of shit. Let's go. Yes. It's been a long time, man. We've been doing this show for a while, Entertainment show. Started off, and I remember people to come on the show and tell us about what they were doing as far as like music and sing and do a whole bunch of stuff like that. And that was awesome. But after a while, it started getting to a point where I was just like, I was calling people. I wanted people to come on. And if they didn't come on and I said it was going to come on, then they weren't there, then I didn't have a show. So I was like, man, listen, I'd rather just talk entertainment with you guys. Like there's a lot of stuff to talk about in entertainment, especially now. But me and Kyle just came off a show talking entertainment with my boy Troy to Ryan. I had a really fun time doing that as well. But speaking of Kyle, check it out. He in the backstage area. We're going to bring him back to the front line. That's my co-host on the ENT show. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle, Eric. What up, Kyle?
What's good?
Chilling, man. We doing double duty tonight, man.
We were doing a double shift tonight. Shout out to Troy.
For sure.
Talking about specific. There was a lot of X-Men talk.
Yeah,
there was a lot of Marvel movie talk, but there was a lot of X-Men talk and Avengers talk up in there. So
man. I mean that's the next stage, really. Like X-Men is starting to come in. We just saw Fantastic Four is in here now, and of course Spider-Man. Like this is the Fox Kids realm over here. Like they're built now.
It really is.
Yeah,
it really is. It's funny. it's funny because I was watching something we'll probably jump into at some point today, and it made me go, you know what? I miss that lineup. I'm
Me too.
I'm I miss that lineup of shows because though like they don't exist anymore. Like
Yeah,
cable is on life support. You feel me? Like
bro, man.
there was a like a survey done not too long ago that suggests that if you still have cable, you got to be like close to 60 or hitting 60, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
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 Listen, and from my time of doing cable and installing cable, that was about what shit going on like 6 years ago at this point.
You were a
I
literal
mean,
cable guy. Mhm.
yeah, I was a literal cable guy, man, and it was like you're saying, like this was the realm where we were just starting to the cable boxes we were putting into houses. They were just starting to have Netflix on them, and when I had to explain to like the older customers about like, hey, this is how you use this remote, you could talk into it and all this shit. Listen, people ain't they're fucking. You might as well be in outer space telling somebody this shit. Like they had no idea what I was talking about, bro. So
Yeah.
you have a lot of people who are just used to old faithful, man, and in a world now where that's completely transitioning, we don't. We're not walking in the stores to get paper applications anymore. You want a
No.
job, you got to get your ass online.
Everything's online, but now you got and we're gonna and those two letters are gonna come out again. AI, you got AI checking the job applications and stuff now. So you got to be
That's
really you got
crazy,
to be
yo.
really careful. Like as much as and I'm an introverted extroverted kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? I like being around people, but I also like having my solitude.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
me
I
too.
like I like being by myself, but I also like chilling with my family and friends and seeing what they're up to and just just basking in that energy too.
Oh yeah,
But I don't what I don't get is the fact that we're becoming so dependent on machines that the human experience is dwindling. You
yeah.
know,
Yeah, I
you
know,
know.
Kyle. Me and you have these conversations a lot, man, and we were just having them, in the messages before. You know what it is that I think, bro? I think, of course, definitely one of the biggest thing that people love about AI and computers is the convenience, bro. It's
Facts.
the time saving that you have to do when you can just literally just get up and press a button and something is done.
Hmm.
It goes all the way down from the, invention of the microwave and the toaster, like all these things that made life simpler, bro. Like,
Yeah.
before you had to put effort into what the fuck you do. Even if it was just making coffee, you know what I'm saying? You had to do stuff. Now you take a little cup, put it in another cup, and then press a button. That's just coffee.
That's it. You got a pot. You got those coffee pots.
That's it, bro. It's like everything is simplistic. And it's not a bad thing, I guess, technically, but I guess, like you're saying, as we're diving into deeper realms of it, we're losing a lot of creativity. We're losing a lot of our work ethic. Nobody really wants to try for much anymore, and they want everything to be simplistic. You don't want to take time. I was listening to the radio in the car when I was driving to get my son the other day. Uh,
Mhm.
I listened to the radio and I press a button. If it ain't a song in that motherfucker, I'm turning it off. I press a button, ain't a song in that motherfucker, I'm turning it off. And if I get to all the stations I got preset, I just turn the whole fucking thing off.
Yep.
I don't wait. I don't do nothing. Like, oh, fuck it all. It fails. I can't even listen to this shit no more.
I've only listened to the radio. Like I was listening to the radio earlier today, because my grandmother has Sirius XM in her car,
Mm.
and that was the most. Other than that, I'm on Spotify or I'm on Bandcamp or I'm on YouTube Music or you know,
It's all
simple.
shit that you can program yourself. It's not
That's that.
none of
That's
that
it.
is yeah. Yeah, it's all shit that you can do whatever you want to do. It's catered to you. So anything you do, you may get, just of something new that you never heard of before, here and there. But
Yep.
most of it is depicted for personal, you.
Yep. The algorithm's getting to know you every day.
Man, bro, we literally
Every. every day. Matter of fact, I got a warning this morning that that Instagram had implemented this new maps feature.
Mm.
Basically you can tell where your followers are, like their
Oh,
locations and
stop
everything.
playing.
I'm dead freaking serious, man. And like I got like three different videos. I was just doom scrolling like 6 in the morning, got three different videos on the topic. And then I was like, okay, immediately told my family. I told my homies that were on my friends list. I was like, this is what's happening, this is what's happening, this is what's happening, right? And then I got a notification that it just activated on my phone. I'm like,
That's crazy, bro.
location off. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm
No,
saying,
that's
bro.
too much. That's too
You
much.
you honestly don't know with all the updates that happen. Like shit updates so sporadically, so randomly, and so frequently. Like
Yep.
you can't keep up with the shit is doing anymore. You don't know what they're doing every time they send that little ping to your phone and it shuts off and turns back on. Like
Uh-huh.
they can do so much. Yo, while we were just talking, Kyle, tell me some crazy shit, right? Just some
Yep.
really crazy shit. Yo, we hey, guys, listen, we just came back and I had a show put together. I do have a show put together. But let me be real with y'all. We're gonna just talk some shit tonight. Because me and Kyle doing double duty. We're gonna definitely hit you with a top five. But I kind of feel like talking some shit tonight. I
Yep.
feel like just letting it flow. It's our first day back on the job. And we gonna bring you the full-fledged show probably next week. We get it going. But tonight we're gonna talk some shit. Um when you were talking about like everything with AI, we've been talking about this a lot.
A
When you were talking
lot.
about
Yeah.
everything with AI,
Mhm.
and you were just saying like Instagram's over there learning you, Facebook's learning you, everything you do, every search engine, everything that you connect your email to, everything you connect your sign up for with your password, everything's learning you, bro.
Yep.
What if these motherfuckers is programming bot us?
Listen, where do you think the AI gets its information from?
Bro, man.
Like they literally tell you on the agreements now you're agreeing to have your content train our AI. That is, like they've been watching us even before AI has become as popular and as more interactive that it has. It they were watching uh what kind of content we consume. They've been doing
Yeah,
this they've been doing this for years, you
yeah,
know.
man. Yeah, that's
So
crazy,
and we
bro.
did and we just let them, like, yeah, we
Oh yeah.
complain, but we just let them. We got our computers in our pockets and we're on it regularly now, you know.
It would
To-
take a drastic event to make people stop the convenience. You would have to literally prove like, hey, if you're on your phone 3 days later, you will get cancer, or it would have to be some fucking crazy ass
Mhm.
scenario to where people would say, "Whoa, really? If you use your phone 2 days from now, you're gonna blow up, or that girl from the ring is gonna come out the TV or some shit." Like it would take
Watch
something.
that be the plot if they ever tried to bring the ring back. Watch that be
Uh,
the plot, because we don't have VCRs anymore, right?
that's right.
So
What you gonna watch?
and we
Or
don't
stream
and
it.
and physical media is going the ways of the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So watch that be the next. Just like when they tried to bring Chucky back, but they made him a AI.
When they fucked up Chucky altogether and just that shouldn't even be called Chucky, bro. It should be called something completely different, Cabbage Patch or some shit. But nah, man. I mean, it's a good topic, and I think we definitely talk about it a lot. I think personally because we're two guys who grew up in the 80s and 90s,
Mhm.
and literally, we've watched the transition, and we're seeing another transition. Hey guys, I want to say this too. I said it on the other show, but just to break it apart a little bit, but a little bit on topic, like we lost somebody in the entertainment world, and y'all know that I do the wrestling show and stuff like that. We actually lost a few people
Mhm.
within that time span. We lost, of course, Malcolm Jamal Warner, man, the Theo on the Cosby Show, Theo Huxtable, a very
Ozzy Osbourne,
Ozzy Osbourne, bro, Black Sabbath lead
Hulk
singer, the guy
Hogan.
hit the head off the bat, and then yeah, that was the main one. I know a lot of people have been kind of questioning me when I'm like, because Hulk Hogan has a serious controversial,
Past, yeah.
background and shit. But
Hmm.
listen, bro, yeah, we lost those three guys. Hulk Hogan for me was the
In the
biggest
same
because
week too.
yeah, man, it was a crazy time, but we are dealing with that, Kyle. Like us, the '90s kids, bro. Reaching our
Mhm.
40s,
Yeah,
we're reaching a realm where we're gonna start seeing a lot of our heroes and just like people that we were like that we loved, watching back in the day.
yeah.
We're gonna start seeing them passing off. I mean, if we're lucky, what I'm saying, like if we're lucky.
If
But
yeah, if we're lucky, like if I can make it to 80, I'm
yeah,
cool. If
I'm
I can,
cool.
if it like because I'm because I see a lot of my family members, they're getting a lot, some of them are getting up there, but they're like enjoying their 70s, 80s. A couple of them lived until their 90s. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
if I can, so if I can at least get part of that, I've lived a good life.
Yeah,
You know?
no, absolutely. I agree. I 100%. And even when I do see some of these guys go, man, you got to think like it was really sad about like Malcolm Jamal Warner. He had a shitty situation,
Yeah.
and we're gonna talk a little bit about that in a second. No
Mm.
disrespect. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. But
Yeah.
Ozzy and Hulk Hogan, man, these guys they were 70 years old, 70 plus. And not to age nobody or not to say when anybody's supposed to go, but I mean we gotta be fair. Like, if you got a chance to live your life all the way into your 70s, I gotta at least say you had a good run, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you weren't taken too soon, maybe like too soon for loved ones and everything like that. But if you gotta be reasonable, like we're all gonna go someday. And most of us have like
Man,
$100 years. $100.
Ozzy went shortly after his last show,
Yeah,
right? And I've
that's
saw
right.
clips of that last show. That was a show.
That's it,
He
man.
went out like a rock star.
Yeah,
Okay. He went out like a rock star. He did charitable work. He was beloved by his family and friends, and he still had it in him to do those songs in front of a live audience, and they just showed love. Everybody
yeah.
just showed so much love, and then he goes out. He dies, but his legacy will forever live on.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
you know,
Ain't it
and
crazy too? Like Ozzy Osbourne, like rock star, you know, doing all the crazy shit that he did. Remember, bro, Ozzy Osbourne fucking was super controversial as well, biting the head off a bat on stage and doing a whole bunch of crazy shit.
he
The
thought it was
Osbourne
fake.
TV
I thought the
show.
whole thing, like he thought the bat was a fake bat. He didn't know it was real.
Oh,
So
for real? Damn, I
yeah,
never knew that. I
he
thought he was
didn't know
just
it was
wilding the
real.
fuck out.
Yeah, no, somebody threw it on stage, and he thought it was like a fake stuffed toy. And but it wasn't until he bit it off that the head off that he figured out it was real. I
Damn.
thought
Yeah.
I thought he was just that nuts.
So did I. Shit, and rock stars be on all them shit, all that stuff, or whatever.
Especially
But
especially in the 70s and 80s. Come on.
hell yeah, that's all they was doing.
Hmm.
That was their entertainment right there. But
Yeah.
yeah, we did lose those legends, man. And it was just a sucky thing. And Hulk Hogan, bro, I grew up watching. That was one of the guys that got me into pro wrestling, man. Hulk Hogan was one of the biggest fucking names. I don't care what nobody said. Hulk Hogan was one of the biggest names of all time.
He's serious.
All
Yeah,
time,
he
bro.
seriously was. That's why I was so mixed up when he died, because the little Hulk fan in me came out, and I'm like, man, he's no longer here. But then I
Yeah.
remember the controversies, and I'm like, dag, why'd that have to be true? You know that
That's
that
what sucks. That's
that's
what
what
sucks.
that's what killed me. And even when his own family members came out and like, this is not the time to call him that, I'm like, nah. I mean, he's already gone. What else?
Yeah.
What else you want to? What else you want to do? I'm just gonna say it. It's unfortunate. It shouldn't have. It should not have happened the way it did. But I don't blame his daughter for saying what she said.
Yeah,
You
she
know.
came out and said some other shit recently where she was just like, and I believe it, man. Another thing, like we got to remember is these motherfuckers is rich and
Yeah.
famous, and
And what we
you know
see is only part of the story.
that's
What
right,
what
only
we
part
saw
of the story.
on yeah, what we saw on TV what we saw in all those matches, what we saw on the Hogan Knows Best reality show, all of that,
Mm-hmm.
I just aged myself right there.
I
You
know,
know,
bro. Shit, I'm thinking too. Like 2000, that was 2003.
that
That
was
was like, yo, listen,
2003.
this is we're talking about shit like it's recent, but that's like fucking 20 years ago,
But what do you
25 years
think?
ago.
But our parents do our parents did the exact same thing, you
That's right.
know? Like imagine cuz so my parents are Gen X, right?
Yeah,
So they were, they were teenagers in the 80s, you know? And
that's right. Yeah.
to be honest, I was jealous of them cuz I'm a hip hop head. They got to be
Mm.
at the beginning of
Of the hip hop
everything,
era, yeah.
at the very beginning, the music, the rapping, the fashion,
Yeah.
people didn't think it was gonna be what it is today, and I'm like, I'm jealous of y'all, but then I also remember they grew up during the crack era, you know.
Oh yeah, everybody's got their
Er,
time, got their problems, got their, you know what I'm saying? But hey, listen, I'll be real. I don't know if it's I don't know who's got more problems, bro. I don't know if maybe because
who's got more problems?
I'm telling you, because if you think about it, Kyle, just like we were just talking about, the most they had to deal with was each other.
Hmm?
The most we got to deal with is each other and all this
Plus,
fucking computer shit.
yeah,
You
yeah.
feel me? Like we losing our jobs to machines,
Yeah,
and we
just like
still
they
fighting
were
with each
afraid of
other.
losing their jobs to machines. Like every generation after,
Saying,
when machines became more and more of a thing, when
yeah,
computers started becoming more of a thing in the workforce, when they were huge and took up like a whole room, people were afraid of losing their jobs. Now we're losing our jobs to generative machines,
oh yeah,
like little robots, little self done machines. It's it's
programs.
exactly what our it's kind of like what our grandparents and parents feared back in the day.
Listen, bro, we losing our jobs to, like, we had a conversation. I saw one of our old videos where we were talking about, just the video editing work, like,
Facts.
being able to, just take somebody's podcast or web show that they were doing, and they give it to you and say, hey, I would like this broken down so I can make some clips, and then
Yep.
they slide you a little money on the side and stuff like that or whatever, and then you break it down and you give it back to them. That's a hustle.
And
But now you got
that's a
Opus
hustle.
clips, and you got all the shit that takes out that job and just makes somebody press a button, like I said earlier. And now you press that button, they don't gotta pay you. They paying Opus clips.
All you gotta do is wait. Just like
That's
the
it, man.
microwave. We were just talking about
It's like the
we were talking
microwave.
about the microwave, right? All you
Yeah,
gotta do is wait a few minutes. Depending on
that's
how
it.
big the video is, might have to wait a little longer. But the point is, all you gotta do is be patient. You can come back, take a nap. Next thing you know, it spits out like 20 or 30 different clips. Arrange them any way you want. Send
That's
them to
right.
your client. Bing bang boom, you're done.
And you're finished, bro. Yeah,
You
it's
know?
it's it's interesting, man. It's not. I mean, we're not talking doom and gloom here. We're just
Nah,
talking,
of course
like,
not.
just kind of notating, like, yeah, it's a different realm, bro. And when you say what's worse, I mean, of course, that's like, comparative. It kind of goes by, people's mentality, how people live. There's some people who are living in the fucking forest right now, who's been living in the forest since 1980s too, and ain't shit
Yeah,
changed for them really. They
yeah.
doing their thing,
Hey,
so
look, as long as they're happy,
that's
that's
right.
all I care about. As long as the people, I don't like, as long as however you choose to live your life, hopefully it's in a positive way and
Yeah.
you're happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
I was
know?
actually, rewinding back to that, like I was saying about Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Yeah.
And if you guys weren't aware, like, apparently he died, he drowned. Guy, he was in the ocean. I don't know the exact story, so don't quote me, but I know that he was drowning. He was with his daughter, I think they said. And
That's one story. Another story was he was alone. Um
yeah, so you never fucking know, bro.
Eddie Griffin came out recently and talked about it because he's like that was his homie. I mean, they weren't always like, I went back and watched a couple episodes of Malcolm and Eddie,
Malcolm and Eddie, yeah.
and I did not know during the filming of Malcolm and Eddie, like during the first few seasons, they were not friends. They were they were colleagues, and they knew how to turn it on and off, but
Mm,
they were not they did not have the best relationship. It wasn't until later on when they realized that how shady that show actually was, because they were like, we don't want to play these stereotypes constantly and stuff like that. But the network was like, nah, that's not what's selling. That's not what. And they
Yeah.
knew the game,
Yeah.
and they knew
Yeah,
that.
they're two intelligent ass dudes, bro. Especially Eddie Griffin. I know more about Eddie than I know about Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Eddie is really like Eddie.
He's a
Sometimes
smart motherfucker.
he'll be on his like conspiracy theory stuff a little
Oh
too
yeah.
hard, but at the same time, dude is really smart.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He does kind of factor in a little bit of um opinion to
Yeah.
his thought process, which is nothing
Mhm.
wrong with, but if you're going to try to make it factual to people, then it's a little bit of an issue. Because
Yeah.
if you're going to say something how you kind of depict something, or how you break down a theory, then that's cool, but you have to make sure that you're making it understandable that that's your theory. You can't put it out there like, hey, this is what happened, or this is what it is. So yeah, I mean, he's a smart ass dude though. But
Yeah.
saying all that to say this, man, I just don't understand. I had a family member that drowned from being pulled into the undertow.
Oh
I'd
my.
You've heard of there was a wrestler named Shad Gastard. I think that's his name. If I'm getting it right, from Crime Time. He was a tag team wrestler. He died saving his son. His son was drowning. He saved his son, but he passed, unfortunately. Gwendolyn from Family Matters. Maya.
Oh
What's
yeah,
her
yeah,
last
yeah,
name?
yeah.
From
Um,
Glee.
yeah. She ooh, but
Yeah. Bro, I know this is like an unpopular theory, but shouldn't there be some kind of fucking like restriction to swimming in the ocean and shit, bro? Like, it's such a dangerous fucking thing, man. Like, my son just went to the beach twice. I don't fuck with the beach. I don't like. I'll go to a pool. I'll have my own pool. That's the even best thing for me. But
mm,
I don't like the beach, bro. There's too much, especially now we're finding all these aliens and shit is in there. Like I don't like the beach like that. Like, I'll
mm,
go to the beach, I'll sit and
yeah,
let the waves come up on the sand, but I don't get in the water. There's just too much there, bro. And it's like people go into the water and they just go further than you should, and
yeah.
you're literally fucking testing one of the strongest parts of Mother Nature, man.
Yeah,
I
one of the
just
strongest elements. I remember I used to go to Virginia Beach with family that used to that lived down there. And I remember one time I lost one of my water shoes, right? Because a wave just came and it was one of those things, and it was one of those ones that strap onto your foot, but the freaking water just took it, you know.
yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
looked and I was like, "Oh wait, I feel the sand. I feel the dirt. What's going on? Oh, my water shoe is gone. I went home
Yeah.
with one shoe that year,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, because you never know how big those waves are gonna go. I can't swim, right? And while I am not afraid of the water, I am afraid of falling. So,
Yeah.
so,
Bro.
so I gotta relax myself. It's just,
Yeah,
I,
it pull even when you sit on the beach and you sit on the sand and let the waves just kind of come up and they come, that shit pulls you, bro. Like,
it
every
does.
single time that force
Yeah,
pulls you back. And it's just like, I never understood, besides the fact of just wanting to swim. I
yeah,
love swimming, but it's just like you have options. Like, even if you're gonna have a beach, or you're gonna open a beach, like, why the fuck not have like a barrier, a net, or something, just where it's like people can't go all the way out. Somebody has something to grab onto before, what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure it can be done. I've
of course,
swam in
yeah, it
beaches.
can be done. Doesn't mean people are gonna follow the rules.
Yeah, people definitely don't follow the rules. That's why
You know what I'm saying?
it's,
Like
it just sucks, man.
you can put as many barriers or whatever on any whatever, and say do not go here, but people are gonna see that as a challenge.
That's true.
You
Not
know,
lying about that motherfucker shit.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm not speaking for everybody, obviously, but there's gonna be
yeah,
people out there, they're gonna see that as a challenge, like, oh, I need to know what's on the other side of that wall, or what's on
that's
the other
right.
side of that net, or like how much can this hold? We're always testing the limits, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah, and it's just it's really unfortunate, man. Because I was thinking that when I heard this story, and I was just like, damn, bro. Like, the beach is such. it's a fun place, but it's like it can be so tragic, and it's just like hands down. I haven't do like a statistically like how many people like drown every year and shit like that or whatever. But I'm pretty sure it's probably a high ass number.
Mm.
But
Ah, whew. I remember
yeah.
I was with my family. This was a couple of years ago. So we're in Jamaica, right? And we're in Jamaica for a wedding, destination wedding, and we're on the beach. We're on the beach, and my sister and my brother, they can swim. Especially my brother, he could swim like a freaking fish since he was like 3 years old, right? So anyway, so they're trying to get me to float on the salty water, right?
Mm.
I cannot float, and I start panicking. They're holding on to me. My head gets submerged for a second, and then I take a minute, and I remember what they taught me in Tai Chi class, and I just took a breath. I just went and just breathed in and out until I was comfortable enough to stand, right? Next thing you know, I'm doing Tai Chi in the water. I only knew
Mm.
like a few forms or whatever, right? But then me and my sister and my brother, we're doing Tai Chi together as the freaking sun is setting behind us. And that was a that was a beautiful moment. But I didn't go any further out. I stayed I stayed in the spot where we were. Because once again,
Telling you,
I
bro.
can't swim. You know, I can't
Yeah.
swim. So
Wow. But yeah, man. I mean, it definitely some unfortunate events, and kind of just recapping everything while we were gone. Now that we're back, we're definitely going to have more of a continuous conversation. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
what's up? What's up?
But yeah, we're definitely gonna have more of a continuous conversation about more stuff that's coming. There's definitely a lot of movies coming out that I want to watch. There's a lot of topics that I know we both want to talk about. AI is gonna be a
Oh yeah.
continuous kind of conversation for sure. But let's go ahead and jump into some of the stuff that we usually do on the show because I do got something to talk about. And the first thing we're getting into today is the watch list. That's right. We got the watch list for you. And today on the watch list, we're going to be talking about a few movies. One of these is new, brand new, and hopefully some of you guys have seen this so far. Kyle, I'm not sure if you have. I
Mhm.
think we talked about it, but I just want to talk about the movies and stuff that you've been watching.
Yeah.
And just to get a kickstart here, let me make sure I have everything up to date. But the first movie of the day, The Fantastic
Fantastic Four.
Four.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So check it out. Cal, have you got a chance to see Fantastic Four yet?
I've been broke as a joke, man. I can't go anywhere right now.
Listen, bro, let me tell you something. Saying that, I completely understand because when I tell you the movie theaters, even though it's super fun, I love going to see movies. Man, you got to have some money to go see that shit now, bro. Because
Mhm.
it's like, it's not only is it just the tickets, but just getting some popcorn and just getting a soda. And then I got kids, so it's like, we actually went for the first time in a while with
Mm.
the whole family. And yo, Kyle, check this shit out. I didn't even tell you this, but
Mhm.
my wife, she gets like these discounts at her job
Nice.
that she works
Nice.
at,
Yeah.
and we get these tickets or whatever. So
Yeah.
she gets those, and it damn near makes the movie almost free. So we
Nice.
pay like a small percentage, and then we get these. It was my birthday, so I had she had like a popcorn and soda offer. When I tell you I might have spent like 30 something dollars,
Yep.
that's all we spent for me, 3 kids, and then my wife. But when I tell you, if we didn't have those certificates, we would have
Yep.
spent almost $190 in that motherfucker, bro.
Yeah. No, I have no. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
It is crazy, bro. And that's a
Yeah.
family of 5 going to see a movie, man. But listen, Fantastic Four. What did Brian B think about it? Y'all know I'm hard on shit, so let's talk. Let's back it up a little bit. Let's first say this. I saw Superman, and if you guys remember, I gave Superman about a 6.5.
Yeah. You gave it average rating.
Yes, Superman was decent. I felt like people were overhyping it. It was actually it was a pretty decent movie. I feel like if I watch it again, I may have a little bit more of a I may be into it a little bit more. I don't think I'd be against it. Like, oh wait a minute, I really didn't like it. I think I'd be into it a little bit more if I saw it again, give it a little bit more of a chance. Fantastic Four, I gotta be honest, man. I think I kind of felt the same way. I kind of felt the same way.
Mm,
Fantastic Four was pretty good. It was pretty good. The one thing that I did like about it is it definitely it stayed on a path of this of a story. It
mm.
definitely told the story throughout the movies where you can see them kind of opening up. They didn't do the whole, showing them how they get their powers thing, which is cool. I guess that's like a new thing that everybody loves. Um,
Yeah, no origin stories
yeah,
because
people don't really want to see it, and I get it, but then they still kind of do like a little bit of a conversation where it's like kind of letting you know how they got their stuff or whatever
right.
because you can't fully leave it out. But yeah,
Yeah.
not using the first 30-40 minutes of the movie to tell that story. Yeah, I definitely get that.
Mm,
Um, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Again, for me, not enough action, man. Not enough
mm.
action.
Really?
Not enough parts to where I can confidently be like, man, it was kicking ass in that movie. Like, and I know that's a big thing for me. I'm not
Mhm.
saying that I don't want a movie without dialogue and stuff. I'm just saying you can have both, bro. You definitely can have both. Look
Yep.
at Spider Man. We was just talking about X Men. Look at X Men X2. Like you can have both.
Right.
But it was pretty good, man. Are you a Fantastic Four fan?
I am.
Yeah.
I am a Fantastic Four fan. Right before. Matter of fact, right before I went on with you and Troy, I was watching one of the, I think, kind of forgotten Fantastic Four series. They did a series back in 2006, right?
Yeah.
And I believe it was on, I don't know, I forget if it was on Cartoon Network or one of the other networks, but anyway, so it, it had a different depiction of Fantastic Four. They already had their powers, they were already well established. So I'm watching episode one, and guess what? Episode one, the name of episode one for Fantastic Four 2006, this cartoon was called
What's up?
Doomsday.
Uh,
It was called Doomsday. Basically, um, yeah. So basically, a reporter comes to the Fantastic Four and they ask Reed Richards, "Did you experiment on your family on purpose? Did this happen
mm,
to you guys on purpose?" And it turns out it was Doom just trying to mess with his reputation, right?
got it.
And
Okay.
I'm like, this is episode one. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, number one, animation looks kind of like it's from a, I believe they're French. From a French animation company called Moonscope, right? And they do
Okay.
like sharp edged characters. Everybody look kind of pointy and slim, and sometimes they do, characters with big heads. This time everybody looked, very, like sharp and everything. I'm like, wait, so you mentioned Doom, and not only is he in
Mm,
this episode day one, but but it's a whole it's kind of a multiverse thing too. Like they there was a doorway that Reed had found, and he and unfortunately, like these alien creatures, these alien bugs started coming through it, and it turns out, yeah, it was a trap from Doom. And I'm like, okay, this is actually a decent starter to this show. I've only seen, clips of this show before. I never actually watched a
yeah.
full episode. Maybe I might watch the rest and, recommend it because it's on Disney Plus. You
Yeah,
know?
they you know something? I never saw this before, but this is around the time it looks like when they were coming out with like what was it? X-Men Mutant Academy or some shit like that or whatever. They
Mhm.
had same kind of imagery. Like this looks like the same kind of pictures and stuff like
Yeah.
that had.
Everybody
Um
kind of looks kind of flat and pointy, you
got
know?
Namor. Yeah, it kind of looks like a little bit of like an anime depiction too.
Yeah,
Like
it's got some anime inspiration in there. Totally.
yeah,
Um,
this actually doesn't look bad.
it had a nice starter episode. It really did. You
Gotta
know.
check it out. All right. Well, that's
Mhm.
interesting. Yeah. Well, that's I actually never knew about that show. I knew the older Fantastic Four show. Caught a couple episodes of those.
Oh, that
Um,
from the ones from like 90s and stuff, and yeah,
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 especially the 90s, because that depiction where you had Iron Man, you had Fantastic Four, you had Silver Surfer,
yep.
and my favorite of all, fucking Hulk, bro. That Hulk show from back in the day, the
That
opening to that
UPN
show,
Fox Kids era.
oh, that shit. Hulk was my favorite as far as out of those. Like that opening, bro. To this day is the reason why I love the Hulk, man. Where he was just taking on the fucking world, and it was like
Mm.
no one can stop him. And I'm just like, you watch a movie, and it's like this guy he's scared to come to become the Hulk. Nah, stop playing with me, bro. He destroyed my boy. They better come back hard with that shit, yo. But
Mm.
yeah, man. Fantastic Four. Only thing I can say about it is it was a fun movie. It was a fun movie. It was
Mm.
a lot of talking, man. A lot of talking, a lot of dialogue. People hate when you say that shit. Well, they're supposed to make you. I get it, bro, but it's just like I'll be honest with you, bro. If you've seen it, like I don't know if anybody will understand. Because I thought people were gonna understand when I said that shit about Superman, but everybody, no, it's the greatest thing in the world. Okay, well, fuck it. But I would just say, like, I like the story. I loved Galactus. Galactus looked fucking incredible.
Nice.
Silver Surfer was kind of weak, really weak, kind of really weak.
Mm.
Not gonna lie, really fucking weak. Not a good depiction in my opinion. The one from the Fantastic Four movie,
Yeah.
the Silver Surfer, and that I kind of think that he was a better depiction of Silver Surfer than this one.
Mm.
So I don't know, man. I just really wasn't really feeling it. Um, but the movie wasn't bad. The movie wasn't bad. It was interesting. I'm interested to see what they would do next.
Yeah.
A nice starter, but it definitely does put you in a place where you're like, all right, so next time we see them, they're gonna be kicking ass. Like that.
Mm.
That's how I felt. Like, and let me quickly go ahead because this is one of the newer ones you guys are watching. What did Brian B give the Fantastic Four? I'm gonna give it a 7, yo. I'm gonna give,
Okay.
and I'm over extending because I gave Superman I think a 6.5.
Was
I
that a
liked
pun?
it. Overextending. Fantastic,
Overextending.
fantastic. I'm just trying to say, like, I gave Superman a 6.5 because I think I'm putting this in the same realm. I feel like they're gonna do a lot more. I feel like it's gonna be a lot more to come.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for it. So as a starter, I'm all in. But yeah, man, that was the last one I saw in the movie theaters. I did have a couple of other shows and stuff that I've watched recently
Yeah.
that I've kind of been enjoying. How about you, Kyle? What you got? What have you been checking out, yo?
There's so much out right now that
Yeah.
it's, especially since it's the summertime, so a lot of stuff gets it. So I went ahead and checked out Happy Gilmore too.
Okay.
Um yeah,
Okay.
I'm an Adam Sandler fan. I don't like every single one of his films, but a good chunk of them are
Yes.
some of my favorites, especially from childhood. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
and I was waiting for this movie since I knew it was coming out. At first, it was like, but it's 30 years later. But like, what? I mean, Happy Gilmore, while not a perfect film, is a great film on its own. What do you know? But then this one came, and I have to say, it felt like it was fun, but it also felt like a reason to do all these like callbacks to the original. So I felt
Yeah.
like before watching number two, I had to reacquaint myself with number one, and both of them were on Netflix. So I watched it. So I watched it basically back to back, and and you know what? And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the dynamics with with the characters. He's got like four sons and a daughter in this one, and they kind of all have his his quirks, his personalities, and he's getting old. He's getting older. He knows he's getting
Yeah.
older. He lost his passion for the game of golf. I'm not going to say exactly why because this is still fresh, but they did a lot of callbacks
Right,
to
baby.
the original, and I'm basically biting off of somebody's review. Just about everybody in this in this movie from the past movies, everybody had a son. Like everybody had like the son, like the son of the jackass guy, the son of the son of his of his golfing mentor, the son of it. Like everybody had a just like okay, like when they were trying when they bring characters back after a while, that's what it
Yeah.
felt like. It was like cameo. This was cameo city, bro.
Oh, I believe it.
He's got a lot of he's got a lot of friends. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He's got a lot of friends. A couple of them did their parts for free. You know,
Yeah,
and
that's Adam Sandler movie too. 'Cause, they
for
they
real,
they have a
he's
tight
got a
ship that they work with.
absolutely. Like that's
Yeah.
why a lot of the times I can't even get mad that a lot of the times in his movies you see the same people.
Yeah.
I can't get mad at that because you could tell they're friends in real life.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
they all hang out together. They probably had a great time at the after party. I mean, I remember me and
Hmm.
you were talking about, the how he came up with the Billy Madison
Yep.
and like what he did and how that was like, one of the beginning stories that he wanted to work on and
Yep.
what went down. And yeah, man, I mean, I love Adam Sandler's movies, bro. I love Adam Sandler, man. He's always been straightforward. You never heard any real bad
You
shit
never
about
heard
him.
anything crazy
Never.
about him at all. As
Yeah.
like as much as we say Hollywood is a dark place, and it can be, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
There's a few that you never really hear any crazy stuff.
Yep,
Not
him,
like
Keanu Reeves. You got there's a bunch of people that you can name. We're always so busy talking about all the bad guys, but
yeah.
shit, even Ben Stiller. Like you don't really hear too much about
You
Ben.
don't really hear
I've
no,
never.
or like Will Ferrell or anybody
Yeah.
like I don't really hear much. Like he'll play jerky characters. Ben Stiller,
Oh yeah.
sure,
Yeah, for
he'll play a
sure.
jerky character, no problem.
Oh yeah.
Like I was reminded of his character in Heavyweights. That
Oh, listen, bro.
dude,
One of my favorite fucking old school
dude,
Disney movies, bro.
I still can't believe that's a Disney. I can't. I still can't believe that's a Disney
Disney.
film. You could. Oh my god.
Heavyweights, Blank Check. I used
Blank
to love them damn movies, bro.
blank check could not be made today. There would be no
Nah. Oh yeah, yeah. They would
no.
destroy that one.
Mm-mm.
They would destroy
But
it. It would be all digital. Nobody would play with toys. It'd be fucking just computers everywhere and tablets,
oh, you did have
iPhone.
big screen TVs and stuff everywhere,
Yeah, yeah. That
you
was
know.
about it. But now the kids ain't.
That was a '90s kids. That was a '90s kids dream. Like, what the heck you
Yes,
gonna
sir,
do with a blank check and computer skills?
bro.
You know.
You got $1 million in your hands. That's only some shit that you can only get away with if you
And
some.
that was '90s money too.
Oh yeah.
Today with inflation, please,
Oh please, get about 5 things off that fucking thing.
please, you're done.
5 things. It
Tariffs
wouldn't even been a
with all
house.
these freaking tariffs. Oh
Oh
no,
yeah,
you get
yeah.
one
You went
TV. That's
screw.
it.
That'd have been a wrap for that shit. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, okay, Happy Gilmore too. I believe it or not, Brian B. I have not seen Happy Gilmore. That was
You
one
haven't
that I
seen
haven't
Happy
watched.
Gilmore?
Nah, man, I know about it.
I would recommend watch Happy Gilmore with the kids.
Okay.
Why like watch Happy Gilmore with the kids. There is at least one kind of sexual scene, but it's
Yeah.
literally in his head. You
Okay.
know,
All right.
it's
Yeah,
when
got it.
he is when the love interest it's when the love interest he goes to his at one point to focus, right? Because he's got an anger problem. That's one of his
That's
quirks.
right. Yeah.
He's got an anger problem. So his mentor tells him, go to your happy place. And his happy place is chilling with the girl that he's got a thing for. And she's basically dressed in lingerie holding two big pictures of beer. I'm like,
It's good happy place. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm like, you know what? I ain't even mad at you. I ain't even
Yeah,
mad
yeah,
at you
for real.
with that. And they
I
do
like.
reference that. And they do reference that in Happy Gilmore too.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not gonna spoil. I don't want to spoil too much, but I would recommend watching this with your kids. It is a family film for the most part. You
Okay.
know.
That's
Mhm.
good to know. I definitely was. So and now that you saw it, you know our ranking system. What would you
Yeah.
give it?
I give it a solid. You know what? You know what? I'd give it a solid 7 because
Okay.
it does kind of suffer from what people call sequel-itis. You know,
Okay.
all the callbacks. It is 30 years later. They did do. You know, but for the most part, people look like they were having fun. They were having they were having a good time,
Yeah.
and they enjoyed being there. It looked like they enjoyed being there. Plus, his actual daughters are playing parts too. So,
Yeah. His family's all in it. Yeah, his wife,
yep.
daughters.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's good at keeping people together, bro. Adam sounds like he
That's
seems
it.
like he's a really good
He's a
dude.
family. He's a family man. He is a
Yeah.
family man. Hmm.
All right, so we got Happy Gilmore 2. We got Fantastic 4 on the list here. You even got
Yeah.
a little bit of a bonus with that. If you haven't checked out that 2006 Fantastic 4, definitely go check that out on Disney Plus if you have it. I'm gonna give you guys one more because when I was in the the hospital
Yep.
with my wife and everything, and we're having a baby, we got to stay in the hospital for like 3 days.
Mm.
So we're sitting in the room and I'm literally doing nothing and just kind of bored, and I wanted a show to watch, and I started watching the show, and I was recommended this. And I'm gonna lie, I like it. I really like it. It's actually a very interesting show.
Mm.
This is one of the newer ones that I've been watching, and if you guys are familiar, but it is called The Bear.
The
And
Bear.
have you heard of it, Kyle?
I've watched a few episodes.
Yeah,
I watched a few episodes. I like the care. I like what I've seen so far, and honestly, like it. It feels very grounded. You know,
yeah,
it feels very grounded to me. It doesn't feel like they're going for like jokey jokes or like too dramatic. But sometimes there's one character. I think like his the main character's cousin kind of gets under my skin a little bit. But
yeah.
maybe if I watch a little further, maybe he'll grow on me. I don't know. You know.
It's a little different than what I thought it was gonna be. I've heard people really, 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 give this show like a lot of love.
Yeah.
And what I gotta say is it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Um, I like to compare shit because that's just how I know how to talk. If you're talking a show that you're watching, you're binge watching, it keeps you interested.
Hmm.
You do kind of fall a little flat here and there where you're like, okay, what else? What the fuck are you gonna do? Is it But it's about a chef, he's a cook, and the chef dies. A lot of fucking cameos in this show, man. I mean, from Jamie Lee Curtis,
Mm.
John Brenthal,
Mm.
a lot of cameos in this show. Better Call Saul, what's his name? Bob Ostervik or whatever his name is.
Mm.
There's a lot of people in this, and the story is really good. The story is really good, and I do enjoy it. I'm really starting to think, hey, what up, time? You guys, congrats again on the new addition to your family, Brian.
What's
Thank you
up,
so
babe?
much. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. He's in there. Driving his mom crazy right now. She gonna cry. But I do like the guy who plays the bear. And Bear is his name.
Yep.
But yeah, it's like he has a restaurant his brother had. It was kind of just like a dive restaurant that they used to just kind of fuck around in, and then he's like a world star chef.
Yep.
So stuff happens and he winds up taking over the restaurant, and he's trying to make it into something that, is like, high class instead of just like a dive bar. And I mean, it's got a good dynamic, like you said, Kyle. It's got a couple of kind of like dramatic features in it, but it's kind of like, I don't know, it's dramatic features, but it doesn't like pull you in like some of the other shit that you may be used to. Like my biggest gauge for FX shows, especially like FX shows, are really fucking good, bro. I love
Mm.
Louis. I love fucking even ATL. I was really into ATL.
Mm.
Yeah, so this is right up there with those. But when I think of a show, like I think of Breaking Bad. I usually
Mm.
always compare, like if you say that you like Breaking Bad, and then I compare and I say, hey, am I going to be into this like I like Breaking Bad? I'll be like, not like Breaking Bad. I would say
Mm.
not like Breaking Bad. I would say this is a little bit less. You may just find time more to watch this, but
Yep.
it's still a good watch. So I'll give. I'm on season 3, I think, like around there, around season 3, episode 5,
Mm.
so far. Just to give a, what's it called? I'll give it a 5. I think that's fair right
Mm.
now. I
Mm.
think that's fair right now. It's not anything crazy, but I
Mm.
also do really, really like, hold back them high numbers.
Yeah,
So
you're not hard to please, but it's like there has to be a criteria that that something meets in
gotta
order
hit
for
it.
you to give it a high, in order for you to give anything a high rating, you
Yeah,
know?
I want to make sure that if you I want it to be one of those things like, if I say that shit is good, I want you to run out of the fucking building to go see it.
Mm.
Like, because that's always the ones where it's like, yo, listen, when you want to watch something, ain't nothing like sitting on your TV and channel surfing yourself to sleep. Like,
Oh, I've done that. I have
I
done
know,
that.
bro, because you
Yep.
want to watch something, but it's like, damn, there's so many options and there's so many things you've seen, and there's so many things that can be good, but you also don't want to waste your time, bro. A lot of people got to go to work. You don't got a lot of time to really like waste on something that isn't that good. We
True.
started watching another movie recently, bro, and let me tell you, I haven't gotten through it, but I don't even know if I want to go back to it. And that was lady in the yard or some shit or whatever it was called. Like,
Uh-huh.
it was a movie out recently. It was like Lady in the Yard. We were watching it on Peacock, and I think we were like 35 minutes in, and we had some company come over, and we just never went back. We were just like, all right, fuck this shit.
Ah, man.
We kind of saw where it was going, and it just was like, I was just like, I am just not feeling this shit. So, yeah, man, kind of.
I got two other watch list recommendations.
Go ahead, bro. Throw 'em
Yep.
out.
So number one, me and Ty, shout out to Babe. We just finished binging the new season of King of the Hill.
That's something that I want to watch.
We just finished without spoiling a thing. Okay. I would say this is a great return to form without it feeling like it doesn't feel like like they forced anything. It feels to me it feels very organic. Like you could watch this right, like if you're binging the King of the Hill series, this is not like it doesn't feel completely like they're starting from square one, because they're not. This happens a few years later. We're in modern days, you know what I'm saying? And I first off, gotta give it up to everybody who returned to play their parts. You know what I'm saying? They got most of the band back together. Rest in power to those who we lost.
Yeah.
But the new depictions of like adult Bobby and Connie and Joseph, and even now we have Hank and Peggy, and they're basically playing the kind of fish out of water characters because they've just returned home after being overseas for a long period of time. So now
Okay.
they're seeing how their neighborhoods have changed, how their friends have changed, and they're like, they're starting to question, did we make the right decision coming back home? On the other side of things, now Bobby, I am so glad that they decided to make him, he's still himself, but he's serious about what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? He's part owner of a restaurant. He's serious about cooking. I mean serious. Like the dude, they don't shy away from the fact that sometimes you can't pay yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
As an owner, you don't pay yourself. Like there is this one moment where he tells one of his friends slash fellow employees, he's like, man, I'm making what you make. And they're like, wait, seriously? You're the boss. And he's like, yeah, man, it's not, like being part owner is not easy,
I don't
and
know.
he loves what he does. He also gets into a little bit of the now he's an adult, so he's going to be doing some adult things, but also he's still Bobby. He has that moment of like, is this me? Like he's looked at as the nice guy, right? And I don't mean nice guy so he can, just so he could hook up, because that's not him either. Like they'll be like, no offense, Bobby, but you're a little too nice. Like they're explaining different concepts to him. Like, is it passive aggressive to end a text with a period? You know how like
Oh man.
he's like, I don't know. What do you mean? What do these emojis and stuff mean? And he's only 21 years old, right?
Yeah.
But he's still getting used to the culture, So everything from texting to hookups, stuff like that. So
That gives it a nice narrative. Then it sounds like being able to watch that and follow like how he kind of transitions.
yeah,
I'm
and
already into it like that.
they give him his own solo stories because he doesn't like he sees the family, but he lives in another part of the state. So so they get to see the dynamic now because Hank and Peggy are empty nesters and they're retired. So what does that
Yeah.
so what does that look like for them? What does that look like for them, especially since they've only just moved back home? What is all of that is touched on. You get to see characters that you didn't think you were going to see right away. Um and without spoiling anything, um I would give it a solid 8.5. Like
Oh, okay.
8.5, almost a 9. Like
Wow.
seriously.
Okay, that's pretty
I
high up
would
there.
Yeah, I would have gave it a perfect score, but there was a few things I was waiting on that never happened. I'm not going to tell you what, but I also and I actually talked to Babe about this too. And um because Disney decided to drop the entire season. Like, the season is 10 episodes, right? We already know we're getting another one, right?
Yeah.
The season's 10 episodes. Disney decided to drop the whole thing on Hulu and Disney Plus, right? So to me, that takes points off because I wanted
Wow.
it to be a more of a weekly thing. I know that we're in binge culture and stuff like that, but there are times where
All
I
that
want
shit.
to,
Same day.
you know, like I just want
I'll
I,
watch everything in the same weekend. I'll
everything
watch
in
the
the
whole
same
fucking
week.
thing.
Like, okay, let me like and plus I got to watch it. I got to watch this with my love. Okay, we
Yeah,
both
yeah,
love
yeah.
King of the Hill. We got to binge it together, and we got to really dig into the characters because I love analyzing stuff. This is an
Oh
art
yeah,
form to me. This ain't just a TV show, you
for
know.
real.
So
Dead serious. All right,
second,
well, definitely
yeah,
gonna check that out.
I would definitely recommend it. Second one is a new one that came out a few months ago. It's called Adults. And that's
Adults,
an FX
adults.
show, and it's a show about about a group of young adults. They're in their 20s, right? And you watch them as they're figuring out the world, right? Like they're living with their friend in their friend's parents' house while their parents are like out of town or something. So he's got all his friends moving in with him. And I'm like,
Okay.
okay, this is interesting. Now, when I say they're trying to figure out the world, I'm talking like stack of bills. How do we pay these things? Insurance, finding jobs. They all have
Is that
jobs, but it,
Daredevil?
I
Charlie
don't
Vox?
I think it is. Matter of
Yeah, I
fact.
think that's him right there.
Yeah, yeah, he has a very interesting dynamic with one of the characters. I'm not gonna say exactly what, just in case you watch it, because I could go. But this is a, it's literally a coming of age. It's like a coming of age dramedy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's got the characters just figuring out what they want to do with them, what they want to do with themselves, and what that looks like living on their own and stuff like that. And it's weird because you're not like nobody knows when it's not just gonna click for everyone like one day, right?
Yeah. Oh
It's
yeah,
not
for
it's
sure.
it's not. I know it definitely didn't for me.
Yep. Me
I
neither.
think my 30s going into my 40s is the most comfortable with myself I've ever felt. Like, this is the most I felt like me, you know,
Yeah.
going into like almost going into my 40s. I'm 38 now. I feel like this is me as an adult. I
Yeah.
accept this, you know?
That's a really good conversation topic too, man. About just like I've kind of been. Damn, we about to be talking some shit, yo.
Go
Is
ahead,
we
man.
might we might not we might skip the top five today, man.
Let's
Um,
go. Let's go. What you
yeah,
got on your
yeah.
mind?
It's crazy, bro. And I know, like, definitely I'm going into the transition. Guys, that was a watch list. That was a watch list. I'm just let y'all know. Like I said, we got a regular show tonight. But I hope you guys go check out some of those. I'm gonna definitely check out that adults show. That
Mm.
seems like kind of my alley right now, like what we're about to talk about right now.
Oh, and it's
But
mad short. It is mad
yeah,
short. Eight
is
episodes.
it?
8 episodes, 22 minutes an episode.
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna watch that shit in an hour. The math don't even add up, but I'm fun to do it. But nah, bro. One thing that was crazy, like just coming off this topic, like one thing that was crazy that I was noticing, before having the baby, I was going through this weird period, bro, where I was just looking at life differently. And I was talking to my wife about how literally, like, I just came from having my last child. Like, at the end of the day, this is the last kid that I'm having. Like, I'm not having any more kids after this.
Okay. Okay.
So, being able to, and this is a decision that I'm making, like,
Yep.
but a decision that I'm making, not because I don't have any kids and I don't plan to,
Yeah.
decision that I'm making because I've had my limit of kids that I want
Mm-hmm.
and I'm done. I'm shutting it off. So I keep telling everybody it's like you're closing off a chapter. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're cutting a chapter off, and that should be something that's a feeling of success. Maybe that should be something that's a feeling of accomplishment. But I'm not gonna lie, bro. I've been having these weird feelings. Like, damn, I'm starting to close chapters. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told my son's 15, and I talked to him about some of the stuff and some of the future opportunities that he has.
Mm-hmm.
And literally just being able to say, hey, listen, you have this ahead of you. And then as I'm talking, I'm thinking about it. Like, there's some things that are closed the fuck off to me that I'm starting to realize at 38 years old, going to 40. I'm not super old,
Yep.
but I am reaching a point where there's some things that it's a little bit too late for me to start fucking with. And you have to be honest with yourself about that shit too, bro. Like, if I wanted to go to WWE and say, hey man, fuck the man, I want to be a WWE superstar. And I go in there and I start training now at 38 years old. I'd have to do a crazy amount of fucking work to get in shape. By the time I'm there, I would have to be at least 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, you kind of got to realize maybe I'll get some position somewhere or whatever. But as far as, like, starting off and being the next big thing for the next 10, 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
that door is closed. And
Mm-hmm.
I've been having that, that realization lately.
Mm-hmm.
And not to be a party pooper, but it's weird, bro. It's like, like we're talking about the adult show, and it's like those are the things that you never get prepared for. Like, you never get prepared for those feelings, for those thoughts,
Oh yeah.
or what to really do with them.
Yeah.
So
No, it's
yeah,
it's the
shit like
it's
that,
the
bro.
it's the truth. Like I okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm very indifferent when it comes to the thought of having kids, right?
Yeah,
Only because there was a time in my two things really. There was a time in my life I didn't think that it wasn't so much that I didn't want to have kids. It was more along the lines of, okay, who am I going to have these kids with?
got
Like,
you.
what is our relationship going to be like? What is raising the kid, especially in this economy and everything? What is that going to look like? And then one day I look around, I'm like,
Yes,
I'm living on my own. What's going
what up,
on,
bro?
Eric? and like and like I'm it's like
What I
I
had when it came to this podcast thing. Yeah,
oh
yeah, bro.
you know the funny thing about stuff like this? You can start this at any age.
Yeah,
That's it.
this is the one. This is the one thing
Like
that you actually can do.
you can start
But I
there are
feel your
certain
thought on
things
on it.
there are certain things you can start at any age, and in podcasts is one of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing people start music careers later, but that's because they stayed independent and they're not trying to be like, the next hot topic or whatever. They're just trying to get their art out there, and it
Get the art
just
out there. Yeah,
sometimes it just hits. You can do art at any age. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, for
But
sure, for sure.
like, as far as, like, having kids or whatever, it never really crossed my mind as much as it does other people. And I
Yeah,
get and some just don't get that. Like I told some of my best friends, and they're like, well, you never know. And I'm like, well, okay, I'll give you that, but it's never really been a thing that I've thought about because I'm an uncle with a bunch of nieces and nephews. And
yeah.
then a realization I had, a realization I had with my particular situation, I am not allowed to get married. So,
Okay.
so yeah, given, stuff, I am not allowed to legally get married, right?
Wow.
So,
Yeah, I'm not sure, like, what standards are.
yeah.
Is it a family thing, or is it just like you
Oh
said?
no,
You said legally, so
I am on a fixed income, right?
okay.
I'm on a fixed income. I'm on disability. So, um, you're like, with a lot of us on disability, when you're doing it, when you're on disability, you are not allowed to get married because they're going to combine the wages,
Yeah,
and that's going to go over your
your
allowed
allowances.
income.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'm not allowed. So when I really sat and thought about that, right? It's like it was a, it kind of hit me because to me it didn't really make sense, and it
Yeah.
still kind of doesn't.
Unfair. Yeah.
It's not like I'm only allowed to make a certain amount of money, and I'm lucky. I'm honestly lucky, and I hate saying it that way because I don't really believe in luck like that. But I'm honestly lucky to live on my own in a economy right now where most people got to have like 3, 4, 5 roommates. You
Bro,
know
I'm
what I'm
telling you
saying?
right now.
So
I'm about to get another one. This motherfucker.
so it's like I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm cool that I don't have kids, and I'm not in a rush to have the kids.
Yeah.
Shoot, I wasn't even thinking that I would like find love in that way, and then the universe was like, oh no, you're ready. It took
Listen,
a
bro.
while. Had to work on
But
myself, but it happened.
that's a good. But yo, Kyle, your story is a good story to tell because at the end of the day, man, you know, I think a lot of people. I think a lot of people at least have a plan. I think a lot of people have a plan or an idea of what they want or what they want to do, or what even if it's just what they think is available to them. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
what they think their options could be, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
hey, I won't be a movie star, but maybe I'll be a manager at this, shopping center or some shit. So it's like I think people put themselves in a scenario,
Mhm.
and then it's like you don't factor in everything that comes around that scenario. So it's like
Mhm.
while you're on your, way to get your, bachelor's degree in fucking, medicine or whatever you do, whatever,
Mhm.
you didn't factor in your teacher is a Giants fan and she threw on a Giants jacket when she was leaving. And you said, hey, you're a Giants fan? Oh, man, I'm a Giants fan my whole life. And she says, really? Oh, yeah, I'm going to a game. So I'm actually going to be at that game. And that's a part of life when you're like 10 years later, y'all got 3 kids together and shit.
Like,
That's life, man.
that's
Fucking
like
wild.
sometimes that happens. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, I know people who, in my life personally, who didn't think they would have kids for one thing or another. And it wasn't that they didn't want them. It's just that, it just wasn't
Yeah.
happening. And
Oh,
now
yeah.
we're in an age where, not even an age, the birthing rate around the world has dipped. But
Yeah.
recently they came out with the numbers for the United States. And I'm like, why y'all acting like you're surprised? Why y'all acting like you're surprised? You know who's having, more kids? Happy people.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
People
Like,
who are married and
fi-
yeah,
fi- fi-
there's less pregnant. If I'm not mistaken, the latest numbers show that less people are actually having kids.
Less
There's
people are having kids. Less people are having kids, but they're trying to force us to have kids by enticing us with money. And I'm like, where are you getting this money from? And most of us can barely afford to eat nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man. It's
it don't make any sense. It's like, oh, we want to pay you $5,000 per kid, but what's the cost of living and what's the cost of that hospital visit?
yeah, and that's a lot of stuff that you have to, take into consideration.
Mm,
Unfortunately, when it comes to doing one of the, necessary things that you really usually want to do in life, whether it's just continuing your, lineage or whatever, or just kind of having that kind of recreational environment or whatever with your kids to do shit on or whatever. But I mean, and it's also just something that you have the option for. Like
yeah.
Kyle, like you're saying, like you didn't think you'd be in stages in your life where you have these opportunities, And I'm pretty sure you have your reasons for feeling that way, but at the
Yeah.
same time, then Ty came along, and now you got somebody, and you have different thoughts. But at the same time, just like
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like you still may be having thoughts like how I'm having. It's like there's certain chapters, man, as you start to kind of climb the ladder a little bit, if you're lucky enough to climb the ladder, like you
Yeah.
start realizing, man, you should be kind of checking some boxes. Like you should be at a point where you're like, hey, listen, we can start a podcast anytime.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You can make an album when you're 56 years old.
I've seen people do it.
For sure. Yeah. It's like, you definitely have that opportunity. It's still available. But
Yeah.
like you said, are you doing it with the mentality that you're going to be a 56-year-old rock star and you're going to be the hottest selling? Is it possible? Anything's possible at the end of the day, but is
Yeah.
it likely?
I
And
I
that's
checked
where,
off some. I seriously checked off some life, some life boxes myself. Like I moved out of my parents' house by the age of 30.
there
That
you
was
go.
that was a thing. Some people were like, "Oh, how come you didn't move out when you were 19? When you were 20?" I didn't have the money. Who had
Listen, me
like
neither. Shit.
come on. Yeah, I had friends who were willing to do it, but we didn't have the means to do it at the time, and the economy wasn't. The economy was a little better then, but still nowhere near when our parents and our parents were growing up. So let's just be
Yeah,
honest.
at all.
Let's just be honest about that. But I got my own. But I got my own place. You know what I'm saying. I've never been late on rent. Then I started thinking like rent, bills, all that stuff. I've never been late on rent. I got a place that actually respects me as a tenant and I respect them. Like
Good.
if I have a issue with one of my say like you one like my I had to get my door replaced recently. I had to get my door replaced recently because it was rotting, right? It took them a while, but I didn't have to fight with them to get it done. I didn't have to
Yeah,
fight with them to get it done. I didn't have to fight with them to fix my toilet when the freaking nozzle broke. I didn't have to fight with nobody when my doorknob broke. None of that. I'm hearing horror stories from people in in their living situations.
I'm
You know,
telling you, there's definitely a
straight up
lot.
straight up horror stories, and these are from people that have been living in the same place for like 14, almost 20 years. You
Mm,
know,
yeah,
it gets crazy, but I have my podcast shows, and one thing I never thought I'd be able to do besides finding my mate, you know what I'm saying, was being a freelancer and charging for what I do, like, as far as editing and podcasting and stuff like that. I didn't think I'd
yeah.
actually do that. I didn't think it was good enough,
Bro,
you
listen,
know.
man. Hey, listen, and congratulations on your accomplishments, bro. And I mean, it's and we all started this conversation right now because we were talking about this show about, like, adulting is very hard, man. And
Facts.
like you said, with the world that we live in today, it's a little bit more challenging. I'm not saying it's more challenging than others, because everybody has their fucking, their burning bridges they got to cross. But it's like, you know, the economy, the way that we have to battle an undefeatable fucking, enemy is within computers and technology on a level of, I really don't even know what to call it, because it's like there's nothing that we can't match what AI can accomplish. We do have a human touch. We do have a
Mhm.
human touch, but as far as equivalently, like, if somebody came to you right now and said, "Hey, I need this script. I need this in 30 days." And you have 30 days to finish this script for this movie or this script for this play. Not even a movie, maybe it's just an hour play.
Mhm.
They can fucking go to AI right now and get that shit made, and you would just do some revisions, and that's it. And
They-
they ain't gonna pay you top dollar for that. They may pay you a couple dollars for the revisions, but they basically got what they needed in less than fucking, an hour, something they were gonna give you a month to do.
But
So
it feels like okay. So I just learned earlier today, and I think I sent it to you and a few other of our peoples, that there have been isolated incidents where science papers have been completely written by AI. Like they're doing
mm,
peer reviews and stuff for certain science studies from AI, and like right now it's only been a few incidents here and there, but who knows, right? And the thing is, like, AI can get stuff wrong too. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It can
definitely
get,
can.
you can't be completely dependent on the machine that's being fed information from every place, and not all of that information is fact. So it's something that we all have to be more aware of, especially now that you have a generation of kids that are going to know AI right out the gate.
Oh yeah,
Right?
exactly. Yeah, the
You
next
know?
generation is actually, if you think about it, bro, the next generation, the babies that I'm raising right now, um, they're actually going to be in a crazy fucking world, man.
Oh yeah.
They're actually going to be in a crazy fucking world that we're going to be basically, hitting the taillights of and shit. Like, and it gets scary. It gets scary to think about, like, as a parent, another, like, bridge that I'm getting ready to cross with my two teenagers that I got now.
Mm.
Just having them kind of be on their own is terrifying, bro,
I'm about
to
to
me.
say, does
Especially,
that scare you at all? Like
hell yeah,
you have your babies are growing up. I mean, I know you got a new one, but your babies are growing up fast. You know?
bro. If you know what scares me, bro. If I can show y'all this fucking spider that is, bro. Let me tell you something. I feel like taking a picture of this bitch. I don't have no. I just started looking around. Yo, this fucking spider that's crawling on my garage door right now
Yeah.
is like that big, bro. I'm not even exaggerating.
Really? They get that big in Atlanta?
Yo, we might have to wrap this up real quick. I gotta kill this motherfucker because he ain't getting in my house. Hold on, take a break. Guys, Kyle, tell them about your podcast real quick while I do this. I gotta kill this motherfucker because he's
Okay.
gotta die. All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'll be right
Okay.
back.
Gotcha. Well, on this recent, so as some of y'all may know, I do a podcast called A for Abled, where we talk about mental health and living with a disability. I myself live with a disability, and I've been talking to some great people who have lived with differences and challenges and disabilities of all types, and I use it as a learning tool for myself, because still a lot I don't know about disability law and the ADA and stuff like that, right? So a lot of people, they tell their stories of all these different types of challenges, good and bad, and it really opened my eyes. So this so recently I spoke with a young woman who has dyscalculia, and I think like one or two other differences, but she's thriving, you know what I'm saying? And she's thriving, she's writing books, she's been on other people's podcasts for a while now. She's doing her thing, she's teaching, she's doing her thing. Point of my show is to show that we're out here, we're people too, and we should not be underestimated. Nobody should. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody likes conversations like that, check us out on the A for Able podcast on YouTube, as well as Spotify and wherever else you get your podcast fix. I'm about to drop a few new episodes this month into next month. I usually do at least 2 episodes a month. I try to do at least 2 episodes a month. But check it out when you get a chance.
Definitely go
Anyway,
check out. It's in the link in the description, guys. So definitely
appreciate it,
check
bro.
out Kyle's podcast. Yo, he got a lot of interesting conversations, especially, like, if you want to just get some insight. I like the TikToks that you're doing. Bro, let me tell y'all something real quick. That fucking spider, yo, I
Yeah.
sprayed him, and I guess it was the mom, and it had all the babies on his back,
Oh
and
shoot.
all of that shit came off. Luckily, it all stayed on my garage door, but I'm paranoid right now. I'm not gonna lie, guys. We're gonna get ready to wrap this shit up.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yo, Ray, thank you so much. I just went and bought a fresh bottle because I know
He over
the
here. He
ones,
killed Charlotte.
bro. That shit was we've had some pretty big spiders get into, because the garage, we just got our garage doors redone, and
Oh.
they didn't used to close all the way, so shit used to get in here, bro. The other day it was a giant fucking snake when it was really hot.
Ooh,
It
a
was a
snake.
I threw a water bottle at the door and it started scattering off, but I saw its tail and that shit like a dinosaur, bro. So
You ever wonder what snake tastes like?
hell no. I
No.
don't want to know. Unless I'm starving, if I'm in a fucking forest or something like that. Yeah, nah. But you tasted it before?
No, I have. I think the most I've ever done, like the most daring thing I've ever done was you ever tasted like those lollipops with like bugs in them?
Nah, I haven't. Damn, really? I know what you're talking about though. Actually,
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
wasn't there one like a scorpion in it or some shit like
Scorpion,
that?
yeah.
I remember
That's
that.
the most
Yeah.
that's the most daring one I've done. That's the most daring one I've done. But I've kind of always wondered what a snake actually tastes like though. Kind of
I
always
mean,
wondered that.
it's probably like chicken, bro. Everything kind of tastes like
Everything
chicken.
tastes like chicken.
Alligator. You got there's a whole bunch of meat. I've tasted deer. I've tasted like venison, stuff like that, or
Tasted
whatever.
venison and tasted gator. Mhm.
Yeah, it's kind of gamey. Gator is a little tough, but it's kind of still like it's like a chicken.
Gator nuggets. Like I've been to Florida a few times. Gator
Yeah,
nuggets, those hit. You know what I'm
not
saying? Gator
bad.
nuggets with some sweet and sour sauce. Come on, you
Listen,
know.
bro,
First
fry
time, first
anything,
time, man. First time I had a gator nugget though. I was at Gator Land in Florida, surrounded by gators.
bro.
So it felt kind of
Terrifying.
weird. It's like when you're at a farm and you eating a burger.
It's fucking terrifying, bro. But yo, Kyle, man, it's good to be back. Hey,
Yep,
Beeline, I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Sorry about the top five, but we got top fives, bro. We'll be back with it.
we'll be back with
Um,
it.
I'm
Mhm.
looking forward to coming back. We did double duties tonight, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired of shit. And that's seeing that spider. That was like the curtain call right there. But Kyle, I'm glad you got to plug the show, guys. Please go make sure you
Nice.
check out Kyle's show and just subscribe. Just support. We're really trying to do some big things. August, I'm back. Like literally, like I am back. I mean, I'm really trying to get some partnership deals. I'm really trying to get some sponsors, and
Yep.
I'm really trying to make this my full-time job again. So
Bomb
I'm
bomb.
telling y'all right now, it's really going in. It's really going in full throttle. All the way to the end of the year. But Kyle, anything else, man? We got anything else you gotta wrap up before
Oh,
we close
new
up?
episodes of A for Able coming out this month. This one is gonna feature a young lady with bipolar, and she's gonna give us
Okay.
a lesson on what that actually means. Like
I'm interested in that one.
I at least have one of my best friends has bipolar, but I didn't know what that meant because it's been used as like just somebody's angry, they're going through mood swings, or they got bipolar, they're bipolar right now,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, it's
stuff like
commercialized and shit.
yeah,
Yeah, you're
exactly.
right.
So she's giving us the real deal. So check that one out. It's coming out very soon this month.
Definitely sounds awesome, bro. We're gonna check and look for it. But Beeline, I love you guys. We did all 3 shows this week. I definitely did my job this week. So now I'm gonna tell you we'll be back next Tuesday, guys. And we want you to stay true, stay positive, pay attention. We'll have a brand new entertainment show for you next week. Can't wait to see you guys. All right, but right now we out. Peace. Yo, have a great night, Kyle.
Peace, man.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed that episode, make sure you head on over to the Beeline Entertainment LLC YouTube channel, where we have so much more for you. We have the Beeline Web Show on Tuesday nights, as well as Straight Through the Ropes Wrestle Talk on Wednesdays, and of course, the Beeline Entertainment Show on Thursday night. Join us and make sure that you hit that like, hit that share, and of course, subscribe with that bell button for the notifications so you can make sure you're getting all the great content from the Beeline Entertainment LLC. Let's go!